this video I'll be showing you how to make my sweetheart gloves. Now, behind the bold colourways and the applique hearts is in fact a really sound ladies glove. I'm particularly pleased with the way I've written the pattern. It's the best one I've done today. I've been knitting gloves for years, and if you look, they're practically hole free. You'll have a job to create holes in these. If you want written instructions to help guide you through this video, check out the description box. All the details will be in there. To begin this glove, cast on 36 stitches in the red colourway using a 4mm circular needle. Next, introduce 3mm circular needles and create one knit round initially in the blue colourway. Once you've done that, we can do a knit one, purl one band, and we want to keep going in a knit one, purl one band until our work is approximately 3 inches, 7.5 centimetres long. Next, introduce your 4mm circular needles again and work 9 stitches knitwise onto the circular needle. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All we're doing here is just staggering, offsetting the beginning point of the work. So if you just bear with me, once you have 18 stitches, bring the first 9 stitches up, bring the 18 stitches down, and then the remaining 9 stitches you have left, slip them onto your left 4mm needle. So all we're doing is making the beginning and end point in the centre of the needle. So we're just rearranging our beginning and end positions. So knit 9, so once you've knitted those 9 stitches, we can place our marker here, and this will always be our beginning and end point. And all this means is that we can create our thumb increases in the centre here without compromising them at the junction of needles. Makes life a little easier. Round 2, what I'd like you to do is knit 4 and then position a second marker. This marker denotes that this 4 stitch area here is marked out for increases for the thumb. So we'll still use this first marker here for the beginning and end points of our work. The second marker we get to denotes the end of the thumb section. So work round 2 all the way back round to the first marker. So that's round 2 complete. Now I'm going to show you round 3, which is a thumb gusset increase. So first of all, we're going to do a knit right loop. So we're going to, let's pull this up close. What we're aiming to do, you see this stitch below here, go into the purl bump of it at the back, and without even having to put it on the needle, just knit it and then knit the original stitch, and you've created 2 stitches from 1. So continue to knit to the marker, and then we're going to do a knit left loop. Now again, if I bring this close, you want to go into the third stitch here and pull up a left leg of that stitch. So pull up the left leg of the stitch and then work into the back of that stitch. We've now formed an increase. We now have 6 stitches in between these markers instead of 4. So knit the remaining balance of the round up to the first marker. Now this is going to be a very brief pattern run through. What I want you to do after knitting round 3 is I want you to create increases just as I've shown, increasing right and then left at your marker positions. I want you to do that on rounds 7, rounds 11 and rounds 15. The rows in between you work knitwise, so make a note of each round as you go along and create further thumb gusset increases, I repeat, on rounds 7, 11 and 15. Once you've completed your final increase on round 15, I want you to work 2 more rounds knitwise and check that you have a total of 44 stitches. So next we're going to reserve the next 12 stitches for the thumb. So get a stitch holder and take away all the stitches contained in between our markers. So you should have 12 stitches at this point. This applies to the right glove only, what I'm about to show you. The marker position at this point is very crucial. So leave the marker as it is, and then the first stitch contained on our stitch holder, we are going to do an increase just as before. So we're going to go into the back of that purl bump and we're going to make 1 stitch but leave the stitch on the holder, and then what I'll do is I'll just bring that up so I don't lose those few stitches, so that I can grab the yarn. And what we're going to do now is wrap the yarn around our thumb and cast on 2 stitches like so. So from our marker we've got 3 stitches there. Now into the last stitch on our holder, let's move this around. We want to get this time, we want a left leaning increase but not on the stitch on the holder itself, the one below it. So grab the left leg of the stitch. Let me try and encourage that to open up. So we want that left leg of the stitch below the holder in order that we can work into the back of it. So what we've done is we've created an additional 4 stitches. For the right glove we no longer need that marker. For the right glove we continue working all the way around, right up until our marker position. Once you've worked back to the starting point, work 10 further rounds. So that's the right glove. Now let's just undo this so you can see me prepare for the left glove now. So we can remove all of this. We're back to the marker. That loop can go back again. We've still got 12 stitches on the holder. For the left glove only, remove the marker, set it aside for a moment, again go into and create a stitch by going into the purl bump at the back of the stitch on the holder, cast on 2 stitches, 1, 2, go to the end of your marker and actually I think I've still got the stitch there, look. So now go to the end of your marker and get that left leg of the stitch below, the second stitch this time, work into the back of it. Now, very important, position your marker for the left glove. That is now your beginning and end point. Knit the balance of the round right up to the marker and then knit an additional 10 more rounds. Now I have reorganised my work. That is the very first stitch. Remember we had it staggered with a marker and I had a few stitches here. Well, I've just taken the marker off. This is my starting point now. These are the first 18 stitches, these are the last 18 stitches. Very important for the next round that we merge the flap. If you're making the left glove, please note, merge it in with the first 18 stitches. However, if you're making the right glove, knit the first 18 stitches, merge the flap in with the last 18 stitches, very important. But I'm making the left glove here, and just to make you aware, my long circular needle has just given up, look, that's what I'm left with. So I'm using a smaller circular needle than I would ordinarily, so bear that in mind when you see me struggle to bend this round. So, to merge the flaps in with the glove, take the first stitch from the double pointed needle that contains the flap, and note that, look, it's the right side is facing, the cast off edge is uppermost. And just work those together and slip them both off, being very careful not to lose any stitches accidentally, and repeat that until all the flap stitches have been merged. So you're just inserting your needle through both sets of stitches, a bit like a 3 needle bind off without the binding off. So merge those and keep going until all your stitches have gone. So when all my flap stitches are merged, because I'm making the left glove, I'm going to just keep going in rounds and continue knitting those last 18 stitches. Knit 2 rounds in the contrast red colour. The next round is going to be an increase round. We're preparing for ease of working the fingers. So begin the first half. We're going to knit 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 2 knit right loops. So we want to go into the back of the purl bump, and then knit its parent stitch, and repeat that again. Grab the purl bump so you can knit into it and the parent stitch, and then knit 2. And then we want another 2 increases, so go into the purl bump at the back there, knit the parent stitch, do that again, and knit 2, and then we're going to do another 2 increases, so again knit right loop twice, so that's once, doing that again, that's twice, and we've got 3 stitches remaining, which is correct for the first half. Knit 3, and we're going to do the same thing in reverse for the second half section. So bring those stitches into play. First of all, knit 3, and we're going to knit right loop twice, so going in to that purl bump, its parent stitch, do that again, and knit 2, 1, 2, create 2 increases again, go into the back of that purl bump for a knit right loop, knit the parent stitch, repeat that again, knit 2. Now do another 2 increases, so knit right loop, going into that purl bump once, twice, and we should have 5, which is correct. Knit those 5 at the end, and now we can get on with working the individual fingers. So our work is done here with this circular needle. This will now act as a holder. So for the index finger, I want you to slip the first 7 stitches onto double pointed needle A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's needle A sorted. Needle B, slip the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we've got those 7 stitches set up on each needle, making a total of 14. It's just a matter of making small rounds. So I'll knit the first round to show you. So I've knitted 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to turn the work so that I can hold these tightly against one another. I'm going to knit the last 7, and then that will be round 1 complete. So what I'd like you to do is work a total of 8 rounds and then cast off, and that will be your index finger completed. To create the middle and ring fingers, you do exactly the same thing. I've separated 6 stitches onto needles A and B, look, from the circular needle holder. And I'm going to rejoin the yarn at the base of the finger just finished. And I'm going to pick up 2 stitches along the base here. I'm going to go in to the centre of that stitch and rejoin my yarn. So that's one. And then I'm going to go into the centre. I'm going to go into that one there. That's 2. And then I'm going to carry on working those 6 stitches from needle A. So we'll have 8 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to turn the work so that I can seal the round, and then I'm going to work knitwise these 6 stitches, pulling in the junctions as tightly as you can. So you have 14 stitches in total. What I want you to do is work a total of 8 rounds and then cast off. So we're going to construct the ring finger in exactly the same way. So into the base of the previous finger we'll pick up 2 stitches, rejoin the yarn, and what I do is I tend to look for the centre of a stitch, usually as, sort of, it's just experience really. If you don't get it right first time, you just keep doing it until you get a result you're satisfied with. But if you go through the centre of a stitch, I find that works for me. So now I'm knitting those 6 stitches from needle A, so we've got 8 stitches here. And then I'm going to seal the round again, close that up, bring that out so I can just pull at it. Bring that in as tightly as I can at the junction of needles. And that would be the first round. So after that, you want to keep going until you've got a total of 8 rounds and then cast off. So for the baby finger, divide the remaining stitches over 2 double pointed needles, that's 5 per needle, and just like the middle and ring fingers, we're going to pick up 2 stitches at the base of the previous fingers, rejoin the yarn. So that's 1, go into that stitch there maybe, or maybe that one. That's 2. Continue working the next 5 stitches, making 7 on needle A. Turn the work so that you can seal the round by working these 5 stitches. So the baby finger has 12 stitches, has slightly fewer stitches than the other fingers. So with that set up, we want to work a total of 8 rounds and then cast off. We're now ready to focus on the thumb area. What I intend to do is pick up 4 stitches around this opening. So I'm going to rejoin my red yarn. I'm going to look for a suitable stitch to go through. Let's try that one there. It's my first stitch, and then above we can pick up these 2 stitches here, that one and that one, and along the side I am going to go into there. And pull up a stitch. So I've got 4. I'm going to undo my holder. Let's slip 6 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's slip 8 stitches onto that needle there, 4 stitches onto this needle here. We can get rid of our holder now. So I can see my first stitch is looking a little bit strained there, so I might pull up. And this isn't always necessary, normally I just knit it through, but I'm going to pull up a strand there, and then I think I'm going to work through the backs of both of them, see if that might help the things. So continue working those stitches there. So we've now got 2, 4, 6, 8 on that needle, and then continue working the next set of 8 stitches. I'm going to work 1 round knitwise. Now if I was going to create a thumb like the fingers that's open, I would work a total of 10 rounds and then cast off. But what I'm going to show you is the fully enclosed thumb option. So first of all we need to knit 1 round, and then on round 2 we'll do a decrease. And next I'm going to work the next 2 stitches together but through the backs of the loops, and then I'll follow that by knitting the next 2 stitches together, and that completes our decrease round. We can now just simply work in rounds. Work 20 rounds. Work the next 2 rounds using 3mm double pointed needles. Next, knit 2 together throughout the entire round, and then knit the next round. Use a tapestry needle and insert the tapestry needle through the centre of all your stitches in order that you can draw them in. Draw in the stitches, and once you're satisfied with the appearance from the outside, we can go turn it inside out and secure with some stitches. If the yarn allows you to, divide it into 2 strands and do a final little knot to finish. Now we're using 3mm double pointed needles to begin with. Create a circle, a loop with your fingers. Go into the circle and pull through what would be a slip knot, except we're keeping this circle active. Tensioning my hands. That will count as stitch number 1. We want to do a yarn over, go into the circle and pull up a next stitch and a yarn over. So we've now got 4 stitches. Six, 8, 10, 12, that'd be our 13th stitch. We're aiming for 14 to get the 14th stitch, as it's not suitable to do a yarn forward to create the last stitch. Insert the needle into the back of the loop or magic circle and pull through your last stitch from the back. Then pull in the tail to seal the magic circle. Now very carefully we want to slip 7 stitches onto a second needle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to pull in everything a touch. Now it's preferable to have the working yarn to the right hand side, not picking up the tail by accident. We're going to knit the first round. Now the stitches are very close together, so we want to make sure we catch every single one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now for the next needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the difficult part over with. If you've not succeeded first time, do keep trying, it's worth persevering with. Next I want you to now I want you to work the next row or round with a 4mm double pointed needle. In fact, you could use the magic loop technique with a long circular needle, but I've actually managed to break mine. So I'm going to be demonstrating this with double pointed needles, but either method is fine. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's call this round 1. Begin by knitting 3, then yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 3. And we're going to repeat that for the second half. So knit 3, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 3. So that's round 1. Round 2, we're going to work through the back of the loops of those previous yarn forwards. Begin by knitting 3. Here's our yarn forward look, you can tell the way it lies. Work into the back of the stitch, knit through the back, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 3, and repeat that for needle 2. Knit 3, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 3. So that's round 2 complete. Now for round 3, I want you to knit 2 and then we'll do a yarn forward and repeat that again. Knit 2, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 2, yarn forward, knit 2. Repeat that for our second needle. So knit 2, yarn forward, knit 2, yarn forward and knit 1, yarn forward, knit 2, yarn forward, knit 2. So that's round 3. And again for round 4 we're going to work into the back of those yarn forwards. So knit 2, then knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 2 and knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, then knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2 and knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2, and repeat that for the second half. Knit 2, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2, so that would be round 4. Round 5, knit 2, yarn forward and knit 4, 1, 2. At this point I might place a marker in case I decide to put my work down, then I know this is my starting needle. Once I've knitted 4, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn forward, knit 2, and repeat for the second needle. Knit 2, yarn forward, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 4, yarn forward, knit 2. So that's round 5. Round 6, we're going to knit 2, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 4, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 4, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2, and repeat. Repeat for the second half. Knit 2, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 4, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, and knit 4. Knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 2. Round 7, knit 8, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, and knit 8. Repeat for the second half. Knit 8. Yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, and knit 8. And that would be round 7 completed. You now have 38 stitches. So for round 8, we're going to knit 8 stitches and then work 1 through the back of the loop. Knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, knit 8. Repeat for needle 2, so knit 8 and then knit 1 through the back of the loop. Knit 1, knit 1 through the back of the loop, and end by knitting 8. Now that is the shaping completed. We've got 38 stitches. So now what I'd like you to do is carry on working knitwise until the work measures 7.5 centimetres or 3 inches from the top. I've finished these flaps by doing a knit 1 purl 1 rib. I've used a 3mm circular needle and I've carried on working from the top down 10 centimetres, 4 inches. I've then cast off and left 18 stitches remaining. Those 18 stitches are going to be worked in with the main glove. So cast off the balance, leave 18 stitches. For the button loop, create a slip knot and using a 3mm crochet hook, chain 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, 15, and adjust the size of this loop to correspond with your chosen button and secure into place. Now if you've left a long enough tail from your original cast on from creating the flaps, that can also be used. So that's the button loop. With 3mm needles, cast on 3 stitches and row 1 we're going to purl, that will be the wrong side. Turn the work and next we're going to knit 1, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 1. So that's row 2. Turn the work. Row 3, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1. Turn the work. Row 4, knit 2, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 2. Turn the work. Row 5, purl 2, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 2. And now we're going to go up to a 4mm needle size. So introducing 4mm needles now. Knit 3, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 3. So that's row 6. Row 7, purl 3, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, and purl 3. And turn the work. Row 8, knit 4, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 4. Row 9, purl 4, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 4. And turn the work. Row 10, knit 5, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward and knit 5. Turn the work. Row 11, purl 5, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop and purl 5. So row 12, knit 6, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 6. Row 13, purl 6, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 6. We now have 15 stitches. Row 14, knit 2 together through the backs of the loops, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, knit 5, and then knit 2 together at the end. So that's round 14 complete. We're now going to move on to the partial knitting section where we divide the heart into 2 separate sections of work. Begin by purling 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl 1 through the back of the loop, purl 1 and then turn the work. Knit 2 together through the back of the loop and now knit 6. Row 3, we're just purling 7. For row 4, introduce a smaller needle, a 3mm one, and knit 7. Making sure you're using a 3mm needle. We're going to purl 2 together through the backs of the loops, so enter into the backs, so purl 2 together through the backs of those 2 loops. Next, purl 3 and then purl 2 together and turn the work. Row 6, begin by knitting 2 together through the backs of the loops, knit 1 and then knit 2 together. Now row 7, we're just going to purl 3 together and finish the work. So go through all 3 stitches, snip your yarn and pull that through. We're now going to revert back to the 4mm needles. So rejoin the yarn there to the centre of the heart shape and purl 1 through the back of the loop and then purl the remaining stitches. Now row 2, we're going to knit 7. Turn the work. Row 3, we're going to purl 7. Now we're going to introduce a 3mm needle, and what I want you to do is knit 7. turn the work, and we're going to purl 2 together purl 3, I beg your pardon, 1, 2, 3. Now purl 2 together through the backs of the loops to finish. And row 6, we're going to knit 2 together through the back of the loop, then knit 1, then knit 2 together, and to finish we're going to purl 3 together, and then that's our little applique heart finished. What we want to do is just darn in at the back some of the yarns, but use the longer pieces to secure the heart into position onto the glove flap. Finish the heart with little running stitches in contrast yarn colour. That's after first going around and securing in red with little invisible stitches. So the blue stitches are more decorative. So I'd like to thank you for watching.